prevent children from falling back or to prevent us from falling back or? Kind of see what the guys are saying. I just want to make sure that I'm not answering the wrong question.
Children after 12.
Children after 12? Let me ask them here. Let me post this link real quick. Yay, it's working. Okay, so live stream. Where's the link? There it is.
So she's referring to 12 years to pass through, you said.
Okay, it's on YouTube now. And now it's on Patreon.
Oh.
Well, it's going to be on Patreon.
Children aged 3 to 15. Sorry for interrupting. And after 15.
That's funny because I always say that from like when they're like 14. Like 14-year-olds are so interesting to me. It's like they just shift from like being like a being of like the earth to like all of a sudden being like a do you guys feel like that too? Like it's like they become like their own Christ body or something. They're their own, I don't want to say soul because I feel like we have a soul before that, but environments, live stream. I'm sure I've misspelled things. My contacts are all foggy. Public schedule. Oh, that's the 19th. Today's the 18th, isn't it? Give me a break.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, today's the 18th, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, this is scheduled for a wrong day. Next. Okay, so we want to do it today, right now, this very moment. Here we go. And it's 3:15 right now, so 3 is good enough. There we go. There we go. Yay, I think it worked. I have no idea what the picture of the thing is, but it's like a picture of my carpet or something. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, it's working. Yay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so on Patreon, on YouTube. All right, so we are going to get rid of the pieces of us that are in the past. And we do this so much that it's like you'd think that all the pieces of us were gone. I have no idea what the picture from the past. But they're not because we keep leaving pieces of ourselves behind. You see parents, I was with I'll go back to your question, Donna, in a second, but I was at a party yesterday for a 7-year-old's birthday party, and their dad just got out of surgery, like 5 quadruple plus 1 stents or whatever in his heart. And he's like drinking a beer, hanging out 2 weeks after, and the kids were like, Dad, you gotta like chill and like, blah, whatever. And he was just like, he was just like, whatever, it's like, and I was like, I was looking at him and I was thinking like, he is like a badass, but he's like my dad. Like my dad needs shoulder and back surgery. He has no cartilage in his knee, his shoulder, or his back. But when he goes into like his Christ body, he's like not in any pain. And I think that with years on this planet obviously come intelligence and knowledge and wisdom. And as young kids, we're dumb enough to think that we know more than old people, right? Like, I mean, who doesn't think that they know more than old people? We're all like, oh, I know more than old people. But like in other cultures, it's like we like oh, I need to get Grace into Zoom. Grace, you should go into Zoom. I'll add you into the healing, Grace. I'm sorry, I didn't know you weren't in there. anyways, because I'm not going to monitor the YouTube chat. I just happened to see it there. Um, so anyway, what was I saying? I saw Gracie there, so I was like, ah. So yeah, he was just like, it's like he just, and like Steve, and like my dad, I mean, they just know more or whatever. So my point that I was trying to get at is like, but you look at them emotionally and they're like little kids, right? Because they have trauma from the past where they've left these little like emotional pieces behind. Like my dad is so wise and so wisdom filled and everything, but when it comes to women, he just like he turns into like a little boy with his mom. That every guy does. Every guy does, I think. Every guy turns into like the little boy with his mom or whatever. And every girl turns into her daddy issues with her dad. So it's like it's just human beings, but certain people have a certain amount of trauma and they're just not emotionally intelligent due to the fact that they've got traumas and so much of them kind of like invested in that memory of those things in the past that need to be let go. Because if you don't let them go, then that your life force energy is there and it can't move forward. And I get really frustrated when we talk about this stuff because it just sounds so dumb because it's like, well, why don't I just call it all back and it's back? It's like the guys are saying no, because there's like neural pathways that are created within your brain and your mind and like your thoughts and like the little like sparks in your brain, like they go, I don't know what they're called, like they like move to certain areas and they dwell in certain parts of your brain and make you think certain things and do certain things and have certain habits. And it's about creating new like they're calling them neural pathways. I'm reading it like teleprompter, like neural pathways and neurogenesis within the brain in order to create new habits. Some people like my dad can be like, oh, I just need to do this for 3 days and then it's a new habit. It's like, how'd you even do that? Like, how'd you get off Vicodin in 3 days? Like, I would have been like, I mean, I still like haven't gotten off opiates completely from when I was on Vicodin because I'm on Suboxone. It's like I'm so deathly afraid of getting off of like medications, and he's just like, oh, I'll just do it. Same with like my stepdad. Like my dads are just hardcore people, but like, yeah, you think about everyone from all different ages are all like a different type of spirit and soul, but the emotionalness is not isolated to certain ages. Like, someone can be just as much of a baby when they're 5, when they're 75, right? Like it's like when you fall into the emotional body, you're screwed because now you don't have any of your wisdom, any of your knowledge, any of your common sense. You don't have anything. You're just like an emotional, like freaking out. So that's the part of us that we thrive on, and we strive and we thrive from doing in these classes is healing these emotions, because you don't necessarily want to have to go through every emotion that you've been through in your life in order to heal it. You don't have to go to counseling and talk about all the trauma and the molestation and the rapes and the abortions or the this and the that and the beatings from the ex-husband and the this and the jail and the drugs and you don't want to have to do that, because if you're doing that, you're bringing yourself back into that. So if you can learn to be in that Christ body, in that crowned self, that self that knows, that self that is, that self that forgives. And Donna, that is the key, forgiveness. Children need to be taught forgiveness. And with a world where God is being flushed from everything, God is being flushed out, it's becoming extremely hard to teach forgiveness because we can't forgive ourselves sometimes. We just have that conscious within ourselves. It feels too horrible for what we did that we can't forgive, that we have to believe that there's someone, something out there that will forgive us for us. Does this make sense, Donna? Hit a 2 if it does. And because you were asking what emotion or what thing to keep us from falling, and children, what to teach them while they're going through that world, because what that world will do, what that underworld will do, what Gaia, what Archon, the warrior of the future, and then there's the past, the Gaia. What this will do is trap you in these worlds, in your delusions, in your fear of this happening. Anyone seen the movie Inside Out 2? Anxiety is like the devil, and anxiety is like, you have to go spy on this and you have to go read this because what if they don't love you and what if they don't like you? And you realize that like the devil inside of you isn't necessarily there to hurt you. The devil is there to protect your ego, right? And that's like, we'll do anything to protect the ego, right? But then when joy, the spirit comes in, it's like, all, oh, wow, and like the girl's got her like personality thing inside of her and stuff like that. And that gets back to order. Then it's like, oh, okay, now I can be myself and I don't have to fall and be my spirit or be the devil, basically. But anyways, if you haven't seen the movie, then that made no sense. So, but anyways, does that make sense, Donna? Let me see. Chat. Yeah, the art of self and others forgiveness. Um, ooh, Annie, that's awesome. I love that. Pathway editing. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, Christina, when Anya turned 14, it was huge. 15, even huger. The thing that bothers me is when kids turn 13 and we treat them so different. And then when kids turn 18 and we treat them different. Like Anya's gonna be 19 next month. And it's like, I feel like it's just like, oh, well, you're an adult now, do whatever. It's like, no, no, she's like, 17 in like a year. Like we don't need to say she's 18. She's not an adult. Like she doesn't know what she's doing yet. Like we need to still like not baby her, but still give her some independence, but still, it's the stereotypes of the different ages. So what the guys are saying is what we're going to do today is we're going to do this meditation right now. What I want you guys to do is journal for like 5 minutes. And I want you to just go through and I want you to go and I want you to just write down one through your age. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. Mine's 47. So I'd write down 47. Okay. And write down all those numbers in pencil. Okay. And then you're going to, next to it, you're going to either make an X or a 0. Okay. An X or a 0. If there's an X there, that means that there is no trauma. If there's a 0 there, that means there's trauma. Okay. We're going to go through each year of your life and we're going to erase the trauma and that will then pull back. And then I will personally pull back the pieces of you that are like in the future or the past. And you can actually, next to each age, you can just say, so the 0 means there's trauma, the X means there's no trauma, like no trauma. You would think it'd be the other way around, but whatever. Okay. Peter likes to do things opposite. So I'd write a 1 and then I see like a 0. Okay. That means that there is trauma, I guess. So I'm going to write down. And then next, I just wrote down a year. I wrote 1981, which doesn't even make any sense because I was born in 1977. And when I'm 1 year old, that's 1977. But 1981 is where my trauma is stored. Okay, so 1, and then you write a 0 or an X. Okay, so just go through and do X or 0, X, an X or O, X or O, X or O. Oh, hugs or kisses, X or O. Do an X or an O. It's not a 0, it's an O. And then next to the O's, I want you to write a year. Okay, that'll make it easier for me to go through and just say, okay, go into that person's first year, take me into the year that the trauma stored, and I'll boom, wipe it out. Okay. And so we'll go through yeah, we'll just go through the years. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through years. Geez, who's our oldest person here? I think we've got a 63-year-old or 64-year-old. 56, okay. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to go through ages. I'm going to go like ages 1 through, I'll just go age 1, release. And then I'm going to go through and I'll probably do it after, like I'm going to have you guys still do that meditation. I still want you guys to do that other meditation. I'll play it if I can find it. I just think it's so cool. And I think that our energy will contribute to it because then I want to like sell it or send it out via email so people can try it because it was successful for 7 people to see when they couldn't see before. It's like, oh my gosh, that's huge. So if we all contribute our energy to it and all swap abilities during the meditation, if you want to stay later, you can. Otherwise, by the time I'm done with this meditation, time will be up. But I did want to play that meditation, or maybe I can play it live on Patreon or something as like a live drop. But the point is I'll go through, I'm going to do 1 through 33. And I'm going to clear all those. And then from 33 on, I'll say ages 34 to 40, go through and erase your O's. And you're going to erase the O's and erase your years. And as you're erasing them, that you're setting the intention for me to go in and clear them, whether it's like right now or whether it's, up until like after class or whatever. So I'm gonna go and how many numbers do we have, Erin?
I think I have 21 for now, but
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll do the 21 and then I just heard do 34. So I'll do 34 of them. It's so fast. I mean, like it's like I can't even like say it in less time than it takes to clear like 5 people. It's like fast because it's like I'm just moving so fast. It takes longer to describe what I'm doing than it does to just like do it. So it's fast. It's not gonna like take forever. Hi, little girl, get up here. Hi, what you doing? You're so cute. Look at this tail. Oh, you have a little tail. You have a little nub. Poochie has like a long, like little hi. But Scott, doesn't she look like Poochie right now? She totally does. Oh, I miss Poochie, but I love you. Mhm. I love you because you don't lick. Okay, let me run to the bathroom. Oh, I felt like I saw Poochie last night when I was in the shower. I was doing a healing on myself. And it was weird because my stomach opened up like a cave almost. And I saw a black and white dog like jump into it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Sophie. She's connecting with me because she wasn't connected to any of us up until like today and yesterday. And I felt like I was seeing these like clear, like gingerbread men, like making their way like into like my field, like lining themselves up, like stacked almost. Like it was like thousands of like clear gingerbread men. That's what it looked like. But they were clear and they were just like lining up. And I was like, are those me or are those like experiences? Like I couldn't tell what they were. If anybody wants to try and tune into that and tell me what they think it is, that'd be cool. It was in my solar plexus. And I saw that Sophie was kind of filling like a void inside my solar plexus that where I was maybe disconnected from my soul or something. And or maybe been Poochie that I saw go in, maybe not have been Sophie. They look so much alike. But all these like I think they're the fragments that we're calling back, actually. I think I did that healing on myself last night. I don't think they're fragments. I think I just heard they're like life force energy pellets or something. It's life force. That life force is fed out into our traumas. If we're not careful, we feed out all of our life force into those like little gingerbread men, like get like sent out into this trauma and it lives in that trauma. And then it's like almost hard to get it to come back. So that'll be cool calling all that stuff back to us. You guys will feel like you'll just feel good. You're just gonna feel good because those pieces of us that are out in the future, Archon, past Gaia, if those are the pieces of us that get like ghosts, like spirit attachments, things like that. So you may be releasing entities from yourself, like in real time, like, oh yeah, releasing all my entities and all my attachments. But like if you got a piece of yourself that's a hologram of you out in another time, it could have as many attachments or more than you have here right now. And the second you emotionally resonate with that piece, boom, you're covered in like entities and spirits and all that stuff. So okay, there we go. All right, let me get you up. You're very warm, little girl. I'm gonna get my drink. I will be right back. And yeah, we probably won't have time to do that meditation. I'll play it on Patreon, and then you can try out the live drop thing, guys. I think it'll be cool if you guys try it out and let me know what you think. Like he looks so like. Why don't you guys go see him? It's like my life. He looks so like he's sleeping like with his eyes open. Okay, weirdo. That's a little better. All the way to now. All the way to now. And that's why I said I'll go up to 33, like one at a time. And then I'll do like ages 34 through 40. If you're over that, go through and erase, each thing. And then I'll just say the people that are over between 34 and 40, show me them now. And then I'll just go through each year and go boom, 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 wipe them all down. And then we'll go to like, 41 through 50, and then 51 through 60, and then 61 through 70. Because I think we've got a 67-year-old. I think. If my dad's in here, he's 75, so he'd be the oldest. If my dad has a number. We do age year. So you do like when you're one, when you're two, when you're three, when you're four, and do the X or the O. Okay. And then all the ones that have an O next to them, write a year. But like you could have like two X, three O. It's like, okay, there's an O there. And that's the year 2004. And it's like, wait a second. When I was three, it was the year like 1970 something. It wasn't, 2003. But what they're saying is the last time you have resonated within that frequency of the trauma that was created when you were three, that fragment that split off and is out in either Gaia or whatever, it's a or Archon. Archon's the future. It's the future. Does that resonate, guys? Is it the future? It's the worry of the future. Witnessing station from the for the future. But I don't think it's really the future. I think it's just when you get trapped worrying about the future. I know there's a few of us that were trapped in Archon for a while. So that would, those of you that had that, message me and let me know if that resonates with you at all. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, worry creating reality. Exactly. Because we are creating, when we worry, we do create a reality. And I always see people up in lab coats looking down through a microscope into like these cells. And those cells are like, I see Earth out there. Like Earth is like out, like, rotating like in space. But I see like almost like this, like almost like spaceship type of thing. And everyone's walking around in like white clothes and they're just looking at these cells. And I think the cells are them or their experience or something. But I also see people who kill themselves there. So maybe prior to crossing over, like if you were not supposed to leave this earth and you still had to be here, but you killed your body, maybe you end up there or something like that. I guess that's one reason why you would kill yourself because of your reality that you've created for yourself in the future. You just can't go on, right? That makes so much sense. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom really bad and get a drink, but I shall return. Keep doing your thing. X's and O's, and then the year that just pops into your mind next to all the O's, nothing next to the X's. Okay, I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. Everything shut down again. I tried to get on a different computer to try to make it work, and wasn't very tech being so annoying. My life would be so easy. Where's that camera even coming from? Okay, there. All right. Is intuition backwards or the right way? I was supposed to be done at 3:30 so I could go over to the gym for a play date, and I promised the girl I'd be there, so I don't want this to go too long. Let me switch over to the phone, but let me just text Jeff and let him know I'm wrapping up now. Let's see. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's clear out these years. So I'm gonna have you guys close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you're gonna call back you. Just say, I'm calling back all of the yous that are me. All the yous that are me. That's pieces of you who feel like you're this or you're that, or you did this, or you did that. All the yous that are me, calling all those back now. What we'd like for you to do is to actually imagine them as like little like marbles, just kind of like flowing in, like with the big like metal marbles, and you have a big like big plate magnet in the center of your belly. Okay, so you got this big plate, big thing that's metal, and you got these like metallic marbles that are just that just what I want you to do is just imagine pushing a little button on the center of that magnet that turns it on like high speed. It's just like very strong, and all the marbles are just going to go. They're all going to start coming back like really fast. They're from behind you, from above you, from below you, from all around you. There we go. Calling all of those little metallic marbles back. Next, you're going to have a shield on your belly, like in addition to that magnet, that's made out of like water. So just kind of imagine like in those movies where they have like someone creates like a water shield. It's like a shield of water around the solar plexus right in front of you and behind you. So it's like a little turtle shell on your back, your solar plexus, and a little turtle shell on the front made out of just water. Okay, so it's like a water shell. And this water is going to call back all emotional aspects of self. And those emotional aspects of self are in like carbon paper form. So imagine like carbon paper getting hit by water. Water would then like get the carbon paper wet and it would eventually dissolve, right? Like tissue paper or something like that. So you're going to call back all of these emotional pieces and they are drawn to the water little shell around the front of you and the back of you. Number 7 here. There you go. Okay. Someone's like, what? Okay. Number 11 and 17. There you go. Perfect. So you've got this little like shell in the front, shell in the back. And what I want you to do is imagine a little like lever right next to you, like, and it's kind of like a flushing, you know, those toilets where you pull them down, they flush. It's like a little toilet. So you're going to pull that little, like, imagine pulling like a little thing above you, and it's literally going to pull in every um carbon, every like little tissue thing that you have. Think of crying, blowing your nose, tissue, snot on the tissue going down. There's a piece of you on that tissue. You crying, the tears, there's another piece of you in the tissue. So all these little tissues are just going to get called back to you into the heart, the upper solar plexus, lower solar plexus, through this water. And this water is going to just basically like consume all of them. And when you pull this lever, it's going to flush all the water that's in front of you and behind you, literally like a toilet. Just it's going to go spiral around down, and it's going to flush down out the bottom through your root chakra, down through your legs, your feet, down into the earth, and just like choom, gone. They're gone. You're going to pull a lever on the other side, and you're going to realize the same thing's going to happen, but it's going to spiral and it's going to go up, because there's actually an earth up there and an earth down here because you're in a mirror. So you're going to flush it that way, and then it's going to flush the other way too. So shoom, shoom. Now it's like you should be completely clear. You should be metallic in nature, like almost like a mercury-like substance is what you're made of. All those marbles kind of came back to you. Those were you everywhere, spread out everywhere. Consciousness, that water and those little tissues were like carbon paper with like memories written on them, tissue on them, tissue with like snot and tears and memories and all these things all called back into the water. Those are now flushed down into like the ecosystem of the where things go and go back to source, go back to the earth. Next, what we'd like for you to do is to actually imagine a spiral coming down above you. This is the God cord that we worked with the other day. It's a little like spiral, like a little electricity type cord, just kind of spiraling down above your head. And it's going to come down, it's going to connect in at the very top of your crown. When it plugs into your crown, it's kind of like when you see those things like that you put on the back of the old TVs. They were like little C things, and you put them around the little screws and you screw them in, and then the antenna is like attached to the TV. They're like these little things. It's like it's almost like a little antenna that's being tuned in to the top of your head. So you have like a little, imagine like a little screw on the top of your head. That thing comes down and kind of goes clink, clink, and links in. And that little wire that's coming down is an antenna that will be pulling in God source energy from your eternal source, because many of you are so far down, so out of alignment with that, that you wouldn't be able to connect to it without this quote unquote antenna. So just imagine that little thing kind of like linking in, and then the same thing from the bottom. A cord's going to come up from the bottom of you, and it's going to link into your head that's down there. It's you feel like it's your root, but it's another, like it's like you're like the king and the queen, you know, the king on the hearts, or it's a king of hearts, and it's like on top and on bottom, it's like one's up and one's down. Just imagine that's you. You're one head here, one head there. You're no legs, you have arms, but you're just a body and a head, body and a head, and you're just, you know, like a playing card. Cards around here somewhere. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. So with both of your heads, the king, the queen, or the king, the king, or the queen, whatever, you can actually ask yourself, what suit am I? Am I the king, the queen, the jack? Like what playing card am I? You can actually ask that, and then later on you can look it up to see what message your higher self has for you. Because right now you're still in Wonderland. You're still in Oz. You're still in the place where you're a deck of playing cards. That's Jeff calling me. This is where I'm at. With the antenna plugged in above and beneath you, what we'd like for you to do is to ask for help. So right now you're just going to sincerely ask, send out a signal. I need help. I need help. I admit I need help. I need forgiveness. I need strength. I need truth. And I need anything else that you think that I may need in order to be or understand or know Christ within me. And I want you to just kind of imagine like, just like signals being sent to these like long antenna wires that you have. You've got your antennas wherever. And whatever is needing to be sent to you is being sent to you. And in that, you almost hear like like music playing within you, frequencies playing within you. It's the most beautiful sounds you've ever heard. It's like how they say the angels sing, or the angels, the beings in heaven sing. It's the music that's playing within your body. You may not be able to hear it or see it or feel it or sense it, but it's there. And they're playing your song. They're playing your tune. They're playing your harmony. They're tuning you up and tuning you into your soul's song, your consciousness matter, your mass, your Christ mass. So imagining like a musical note in your solar plexus, just imagine like the little ball with the stick coming out with a little tail, little note. Imagine that in your solar plexus, just kind of spinning around like the hands of a clock, but it's a note. That note is going to spin and spin and spin. And as it spins, it's either spinning back time or spinning forward time. But what it's doing is it's delivering these frequencies that you've just pled and asked God for into the past, into the future, into the now. By doing this, what we're doing is we're actually going through each year of your life free from having to go like year 1, year 2, year 3, like that. We still will go through, and we're going to make sure that each of these things are cleared. But by sending the frequencies in without thinking about it, it's less likely that you will block that piece of you and they're going, oh, I remember that. Oh my gosh, that's why that's there. Oh yeah, well, no wonder I acted out when I was 12. Oh geez, that makes so much sense. I should tell my mom. Oh wait, my mom's already passed. Oh, now I'm sad about that. Oh gosh, if only she would have known that that's why I was acting out, because of this. And it's dwelling. You can't dwell. You just have to say, okay, that's what it was. Big deal. It's gone. That life force that I am is back. And because of that, I'm going to be healthy, strong, forgiving, loving, compassionate, strength, truth, and have courage to move forward in this life without having to look forward and without looking back. So continue to allow this note in the center of your solar plexus to spin one way. And then what you're going to do is say reverse, and it'll start spinning the other way. And as it spins the other way, it's going to turn to the future or the past, whichever one it went. Don't ask. Don't say, was it going in the past or was it going in the future? Don't even ask. Don't even ask. But what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to circle or make a mark next to the things on your sheet that are still relevant. Many of those things will just be gone. So go to your year 1 and go, okay, I had an X there. It's still an X. 2, I had an O and I had 1981 written. Oh, that's gone. Just erase it. Go to the next one. 3. Oh, wow, that's gone too. And just go through, erase the ones that aren't there anymore, and then leave the ones that are. And we'll share with you a source code to use to heal the rest of those while we take this channel through each and every year for each and every one of you, and those that are coming in the future. She'll clear these things for you. But the key here with you is the intention that it's gone, knowing that it's gone, but actually going through and evaluating to see what is left and what needs to still be released. We'll give you about 2 minutes to do this. It shouldn't take long. It's supposed to be fast. Quantum healing is fast, no thought. Don't think about it. If you think about it, you create something. If you create something, it's astral. If it's astral, it becomes a reality. That reality becomes something, and then you fall into it. So you just want to go fast. Just go through, erase the ones that aren't there anymore, leave the ones that are, and then we'll be back in about a minute and a half. Interesting. My 1981 is gone. That's the only one I wrote down, so that's all I know. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring forth any yous that are fragmented or that pieces of you are trapped in a certain year between the ages 0 or 1 to 10. There's any aspect of you that needs to have this clearing, to have this refresh. We ask that that piece come forward now, whether you realized it was there and wrote a year next to it, whether you didn't realize it was there, whether you got the answer wrong, it doesn't matter. Any piece of you, age 1 to 10, we're calling that forward now in the form of like the outline. It's like, looks like a gingerbread man, literally to me, but it's clear. It's like made out of like almost like water, and it's thin, like a thin little membrane, and it's just there. It looks like saran wrap almost, like, but cut out like a gingerbread man, like a jellyfish almost, kind of too. So calling that forward now, and we're gonna do it's SCA negative G. SCA negative G. 1. So that's all you have to say. SCA negative G 1. And as that energy comes in above you, it's going to create this force within you that just goes and sucks those pieces of you back in. It's like, we don't care if you're stuck in trauma. We don't care about your trauma. You're coming back. Get back over here. Back into you. As it passes into you, it completes you just a little bit. And that piece of you inside of you that's full, that's complete, that is Christ, that's tuned into God, that's tuned into the all, the everything in this dualistic world of like Oz or Wonderland or whatever you want to call this, like dual reality. That first little piece that comes back into you sends you into your eternal body, because that piece of you that just came back was your eternal body. It's your eternal body that you give away. It's your eternal body that you turn your back on. It's your eternal body that you say, oh, no, I'm not eternal. I die. I'm not alive. I'm not going to be alive after I die. It's your eternal body that you have turned away. So this is what you're calling back into you now. These other pieces that you healed easily with the marbles and with the water and the tissues, all of these were emotional pieces, mental pieces. But this that you're calling back into you are your actual eternal self, the eternal, like, membranes. There is the cells within you that are eternal. We're calling those back into you now. So ages 11 to 20, calling that forward now. Anything that needs to come back. SCA negative G1.
I don't understand.
Oh, geez. SCA negative G1. You guys don't even need to know the code. I'm just running it for you guys. So just imagine that coming down and goes throughout your entire body and just sucks whatever in. I had like 9 pieces of me between ages, looks like 11 and 20. That feels good. And I don't even know what mine were for, what years or anything. They're saying the whole key was to keep the mind busy with the years and that to take your mind off of the fact that you are going to have to be tuning into your eternal body, because most people are intimidated by the fact that they have to tune into their eternal body. They don't know whether they are worthy of it or whether they have access to it because of what the church has done. So by keeping your mind busy with the different years, we were able to enter in, do the energy work, and get these pieces of you back into you instantly. Ages 21 through 30. 21 through 30, calling forth any of those pieces that need to come back in. Don't call them eternal pieces, just say calling forth those pieces of me. And then SCA negative G1, boom, the energy comes in above you, and this next piece comes in. When this piece comes in, the 21 to 30, this piece comes in, but it passes through you and stands behind you. This is your soul's eternal body. The soul's eternal body. It's like a baby soul at this age. But 31 to 40 is when this piece of you matures, it ascends, it becomes alive, it becomes itself. It's when you fall into this lower body that you were in prior to this piece behind you, that you start to feel frantic, that you start to feel anxiety, that you start to feel the OCD, the ADD, all these different physical things, because this is when your physical with spirit. This other one is your spirit witnessing life through the eyes of your soul. And you do have physical, but you live in spirit, not in physical, hopefully. So 31 through 40. SEA -G1, call that in, and just pieces start coming into you. 31 through 40, there's little pieces. This is going to be pieces from the future, pieces from the past, pieces from past lives, pieces from other realities, other worlds, other spaces, other places, other star systems, other just everything, just pieces of you everywhere. This is from a soul's perspective, what you're calling back into you. SCA -G1, calling that back in now. And you can feel as it's just filling up that space behind you, but also you can fall into it. So then you're in it. So you can feel it, but I'm channeling. So I'm kind of stuck over here. So I can only witness it from down here up here, but you guys can probably witness it from up there. From here, from your soul's self, what you can do is you can actually imagine placing your hand over the head of somebody standing in front of you. That's your human. And you can imagine placing your hand on underneath them. So it's like head, like they remember they're a playing card. Put your hands on each side of them. And you can imagine turning to the side and holding them like a baby. And allowing them to know and feel and understand that they're loved, that they're forgiven, that they're understood, that they had premarital sex, or they drank, or they did drugs, or they lied, or they cheated, they stole, they robbed somebody, they were a burglar, they went to jail, they killed someone, God forbid, but that whatever they did in Oz and Wonderland, it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type of thing. But it's like that's funny. It's that world. This is the world that you live in. That's keeping you from living in this world. You must allow your human, your lower human, to feel forgiveness, love, compassion, strength, truth, and most of all, courage, and have a lack of that suspicious energy. That suspiciousness is the lowest frequency you can possibly have in relation to yourself and to others and to God. You can do anti-suspicion. Nope, can't even do that. It's like there's no opposite to suspicion. There's not like trust isn't the, it's just need to feel love in order to not feel that. Nice. Number 23 is like, like crying so hard. Oh my gosh, that's cute. Number 40 is as well. 21, 17, 12, 11, 9, 1. One's looking amazing. So from behind each of you, from behind each of your souls, a little bit to your right, a being is going to walk up and place their hand on your shoulder. You can ask to see what the being looks like. In your own mind's eye, or you can ask to see in a mirror, like, who are they? What are they? And we're going to run a purple heart through them, like a violet flame, like heart through them. And then like a red flame heart through them. A green heart, like green laser heart through this being that's to your right, that has their hand on your shoulder. And as these energies run through them, the last one to come down would be a big, huge, white, unconditional love heart, carrying all the pieces of you that this piece, in essence, scared away. All the pieces of you that couldn't exist because this scared it away. And this is ages 41 to 50. 41 to 50, calling that forward now as that 41 to 50 clump of selves come back. I feel like I'm going to throw up. They're going to enter into that being first, transform that being into whatever it transforms into. Maybe allowing it to feel love for the very first time. Curious to see what you guys saw with that guy. Make sure that you write in the notes after you're done with what you saw here. AG, or it's SCA negative G1, running that through you guys from the top and the bottom of that being that's standing to the right of you with its hand on your shoulder. And it's going to turn into, from going from a being, it's just going to be kind of like an essence. And that essence is then going to merge with you, your soul. As it merges with you, it's just kind of like, it's like a little propeller on your back or something. It's just like this little thing that's spinning, giving you energy, it's your energy source. Those of you who aren't 41 to 50, it's okay. You still have that self there because there's really no time. 51 to 60, even though if you're not 51 or 60, 51 to 60, that's okay. You're still going to do this. 51 to 60, calling back all pieces, because remember, you have other lifetimes, other realities, other worlds. And this is all by light body age that you hit different graduation periods where you call in different levels of consciousness. Okay. So that was your Antichrist self. And now we're calling in the Christ self. 51 to 60. And one's not good and one's not bad. They're just Christ and Antichrist. They're duality. Okay. So this self is going to come in to your left, placing their right hand on your shoulder. And you're going to call back all pieces that this piece scared away. SCA negative G1, calling them all in as they enter into this being. This being goes from being a being to kind of joining in with that little propeller energy, just kind of spinning, creating energy. '61 to '70. A being from behind you, your oversoul, steps up behind you in all of its glory and all of its grace and all of its knowing and all of its understanding. It's its first time it's able to step into your field, to bring knowledge, to bring wisdom, to bring strength, to bring truth. This is the piece that this channel channels of herself. This is the piece that many of you channel of yourselves. This is your quote unquote future you. This is you when you've reached an age where you're beyond creating children, beyond creating necessarily too much in this world, whereby you're here holding space and bringing forth wisdom, knowledge, grace, truth, and the principles of this world to this world. So this piece of you is going to walk up and it looks, for most of you, looks just like you. It's 61 to 70. And what we'd like for you to do is just allow this piece to pick you up and hold you in its arms and bring you what it needs to bring you. And that includes the pieces of you from 71 to 80, 81 to 90, 91 to 100. We're going to go up to 110, and 101 to 110. And all these pieces within you, because in some worlds you live up to that age and beyond. We're calling back all those pieces while this you, this oversoul you, this version of you holds you. SCA negative G1, calling in that energy to you. And then just sit. You're just going to sit, allowing these energies to come in for a couple of minutes. And then when you're ready, just start writing. Write whatever you saw, write what you felt, write anything you experienced, and then go through your list and make sure that you're able to erase all of the exit or all the O's. Make sure that you can erase them all. If you can't, and it's in a certain age, just say, calling forth this from age whatever, SCA negative G1, imagine the energy coming into you, and then just it gets sucked into you. Likely it's your mind thinking it's still there. It's not there because I don't see anybody still there, but So I'm gonna mute and put the camera off, but you guys are, I'm gonna continue working on each and every person. Number 3 is like spinning around like a, it's like Demi. Demi's not here. She was like a Tasmanian devil last time. Let me, oh, stop 3. Whew, wow, I was dizzy. Okay, 3, I got you. 9, I got you. And 14, I got you. You guys were all spinning like, there we go. Okay. All righty. Okay, I will be back. Just go ahead and journal. And but for all intents and purposes, we're done with the meditation. You guys are grounded within yourselves. You're more grounded than you've been in a very long time. But I want you guys to journal for like 10, 15 minutes about everything that you experienced, everything you saw, everything you felt. And please share with me because I want to see in the comments different things that you saw and felt. I'm going to journal right now too.